Shalom everyone, Adonai Oz La'amo Yitein, and with that strength, Adonai Yevarech et Amo V'Shalom. Parashat B'shalach Tafshin Pei. Parashat B'shalach, in all of it, the Torah has the greatest concentration of miracles. Kriyat Yamsuf, the man from heaven, and other miracles. And at the end of the parasha, after so many miracles, how is it possible that Am Yisrael says, Hayesh Hashem b'kirbeinu im ayin? Is Hashem in our midst or not? How can that be after all those miracles that they're asking this question? One of the aspects of this issue is that the question is not about Hashem, is He in our midst, but it's about in our midst. Do we have Hashem in our midst? Do we bring Hashem within, intrinsically, in my personality? How is a person influenced by a miracle that Hashem performs? Does a person say, wow, Hashem is so powerful, I expect another miracle, I expect Hashem to do other things for me, He's going to do things for me? Or do I say, oh, I have such gratitude to Hashem, I have to make a deep change, I have to make great growth within myself. Is Hashem in my midst or not? Again in the Torah, in Sefer Dvarim, after all the painful things that will happen to Am Yisrael in the Tochecha, if we don't keep the Torah, again in the Torah it says in Parashat Vayelech, that Am Yisrael will say, Al ki ein Elohai b'kirbi mitzauni haraot ha'ele. These bad things, these painful things happen to me because Hashem is not in our midst. Again, does it necessarily mean because Hashem isn't there, or because I didn't bring Hashem into the intrinsic parts of my life? How do I react to things around me? When something powerful, positive happens, how do I react? When very painful things happen, how do I react? Of course, there are people who say they don't believe in Hashem because of the Shoah, but are we aware that a very great number of people, a very large number of people, more or less the same number of people grew in their emunah because of the Shoah as the number of people who lost their faith in Hashem in the Shoah? How can it be, if Am Yisrael's history is so unique and special, even in the painful parts of it, there must be something about this nation. If Satan himself came down to this world in the figure of what started off as a human being, at least as Hitler, and pointed to us and said, you are my enemies. If his evil recognized that we are his enemy, that says something about Am Yisrael. Does this weaken your emunah or strengthen your emunah? It's not an objective mathematical question. This is a question of what is in my midst. How do I react to things that happen around me in my life? The Tzanz Kloisenberg Rebbe, Harav Yekutiel Yehuda Halberstam, was in the Shoah, and he was in very difficult situations. Oh, he lost so much family. He was also shot in his hand, and he recovered. And you know how he reacted? He said, I have to build a hospital. He built a neighborhood in Netanya, Kiryat Sanz, and a hospital that is run according to halacha in Kiryat Sanz, Beit Cholim Laniado, because his intrinsic reaction to Hashem being in his midst was not Hashem healed me, therefore I'm going to go throw a party. It was because Hashem healed me, I have a responsibility to heal other people, to save the lives of other people. That is a form of having Hashem in my midst. The question is not directed to Hashem. Are you here or not? The question is directed to myself. I ask myself, is Hashem in my midst? Hayesh Hashem b'kirbeinu im ayin? Is Hashem in our midst or not? That question is presented towards us. Le'agid baboker chasdecha ve'emunatcha barilot, we say in the Tehillim of Mizmor Shir Liyom HaShabbat, declare in the morning your kindness and your faith at night. When things are bright and shining and everything is good, that is a trial to myself. What does the place of Hashem in my midst do? How do I have gratitude to Hashem? And that should make me do something with that. And when times are difficult and dark, what does that do with having Hashem in my midst? How is that going to make me grow? In these difficult times that we've had in the past year, going towards a year and a half now, more than a year and 3 months, how do we react? What is going to be the intrinsic difference, the difference within having Hashem in my midst because of the things that are happening to us? How are we going to react in a deep way in making the world better and making Am Yisrael stronger? We see different people reacting in different ways. We should always ask ourselves, how do I react in a deeper way of having Hashem in my midst to everything that happens around me? Shabbat Shalom.